Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of the one and only Crash Course. That's right, Crash Course Podcast. Started on the radio, immigrated to the podcast. Loving every minute of it. Hope you are too. Welcome to the show. If you're new, you're just stopping by. You're in, some of these podcast environs there, and you're looking at me and you say, who the hell is this? What the hell is this guy chatting about, right? Looks like an old fart. I don't know what the hell he could be talking about. So we talk about a lot of stuff here. Mostly, stuff that concerns insurance, hence the word crash course. We're educating the public about everything involving insurance matters, body shop, collision work, all right, buying insurance, what you need to know, all right, what you should expect, all right, what your expectations are, all this stuff. I've been doing this now for, 2.5 years, I guess. And, we have a lot of fun at it here, right? We try and make it fun. I try and make it fun. I try and make it interesting. On the radio, we had a lot of cool guests. All right, you got to try and excuse the heavy breathing. I'm not trying to pornerize this here or anything, but I got a chest cold going, folks, all right? Unless, of course, that drives the ratings. If that works, maybe we can pornerize it a little bit. They tell me that sells. But anyway, we try and keep it pretty clean here. All right, I don't know if it's exactly a family show, but it's definitely not a pornerized show. All right, so don't change the channel just yet. But at any rate, that's what we've been doing, and it's really cool. I think we're at this now. This podcast, I think we're at this 6 months. I'm not quite sure. I think I should know that, but I don't. But at any rate, so we've been having a great time with it, and we're trying to evolve this. Trying to get guests in here as we did on the radio. That was a lot of fun. Had a lot of interaction with the listeners with that. All right. This venue, gives you a lot of flexibility and leverage in one direction, but I feel it kind of handcuffs you with some other stuff, right? So, we used to love doing the different competitions, right? And we would give stuff away. If you followed me on the radio when I was over there at 103.1, we had a good time with that, right? I would give little gift cards, attaboy cards, for 7-Eleven or, different things like that, Dunkin' Donuts. We would send out a whole bunch of, swag and everything for the crash course. So it was good. I had a lot of fun. People had a lot of fun with it. We'd have question of the day. And I'd like to do that here, but I haven't really figured out how the hell to work that in, to be honest with you. So sit tight. We'll see what happens in the new year. Speaking of the new year, ho, 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 Santa Claus is in the house. All right, I hope you like the swag we got here. All right, we're trying to be a little festive. All right, Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah to everybody out there. And if you're anything in between, well, good luck. All right? No. Those are the big holidays. So, again, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah to everybody out there that follows us. Really appreciate it. All right, we're getting to that time of the year where you want to thank people, I think, right? December 10th? Yeah, I think that's close enough to the end of the year. So, we want to thank everybody that's been following us, that's been, dialing in and listening and participating in what we have to say here. And hopefully you've had a chuckle or two along the way and had a little fun. All right, we're going to continue that into 25. Hopefully we're going to evolve our budget, and my social media man, who's at the helm all the time, he tells me that more money means more progress. All right, so stay tuned. We'll see what we can do with that. But at any rate, last episode I promised you a story. All right, it's story time, and this isn't Mother Goose. All right, it's not pornerized, but it's not Mother Goose. At any rate, so I'm gonna delve into a story. Okay, the last episode at the end of the show, I said that I had a really interesting incident that occurred at my shop. I work at V&J Auto Body. V&J, of course, is one of our amazing sponsors. I think the only sponsor at this point, but they're huge. Okay, I work there. All right, full disclosure, and so, I deal with the public, right? I tell you guys that all the time, right? I'm at the tip of the spear. I deal with people all day long. I help them interact with their insurance companies, and there's a right way and a wrong way to do that. And you've heard me talk about that at length, especially if you've been with the show quite a while. And we're going to continue to do that because we always have people coming and going, listeners. I understand, people come in and out of these different things. I know I do. I have my radio shows that I like to listen to, talk radio. And it's the same thing, right? You're not dialed in there 3 hours a day, right? If the guy's doing a show for 3 hours, are you listening every 3 hours? I mean, probably not. I hope not, unless you unless you really got nothing going on, right? I mean, or you're sitting home and you got, nothing happening. But most of us, it's in and out, right? You take a break, you listen a little bit. Maybe if you're on the road, you dialed in, all right, like I like to do. I used to work on the road, so I would dial in whenever my favorite talk show host came on and listen. But, I'm out of the car, back in the car. All right, so here at the show, it's the same thing, right? We know with the podcast, all right, we got fluctuation, all right, and listeners, all right, viewers. We know people come and go. And I think that's the natural ebb and flow of things, right? Whether it's radio or podcast. I think with podcast, what I find really cool about podcasts, at least me personally, and I'm sure with you, is what? Well, you could turn this on at any time. You could turn me on. You could actually listen to what I'm saying, and then if you start getting bored out of your fucking mind, you could turn it off and then maybe come back later, right? You say, wait a minute, that guy was talking about some shit that I got to tell you, man, I don't really think about, but he's right. It's important, and I want to finish listening to what he had to say. So that's why I always like to repeat myself when I say, right, over here at Crash Course, we're giving you information and knowledge you need and can use and advice you can trust. That's kind of our mantra here, right? And I do repeat that. I also repeat the other stuff as I was getting into, all right? We want to make sure that you folks understand that you have rights and expectations when it comes to the insurance companies. Folks, I don't know what it is. It drives me absolutely apeshit. Almost 30 years in the insurance industry as a professional, I came across this. People were always apprehensive, or I felt like I was like the insurance police to some of these people. I get out of my car, hey, how you doing? Oh, good, and there's always that trepidation there. Not with everybody, but, quite a few people, more often than not. It was always this veil of, I don't know, either not contempt, but it's like, veil of mystique. Like, is this guy, is he going to scold me? Is he going to turn me into the insurance police? And it always baffled me. It really did, because at the end of the day, folks, we're paying for this. Okay, understand that. You're paying for this service. It's an insurance policy. And it's a two-party contract. It's not a one-way. I know people probably told you it's a one-way deal. It's not. It's not a one-way deal. Hold on while I cough up a lung. It's not a one-way deal, okay? It's a two-way deal. It's a contract. It involves two parties. Both parties participate. Now, is it a little bit of an adhesion contract? What do I mean by that? Do you sit down with your agent or your broker and say, all right, Mr. Broker, I don't like this and that? No, not really, right? Not really. You do have input, right? We have input to what? What we want to pay for. Okay, and that's what I do here too. I try and let people know, folks, you need to understand what the hell you're paying for. Now, you have input with that, right? Come on, you go to buy insurance. I hope, anyway. I hope people aren't scratching their head going, what is he talking about? You're going to go buy insurance, right? What do? You know what you need, right? You should know what you need. You're looking for collision, comp, glass, mechanical, breakdown. You're looking for rental reimbursement. You're looking for homeowners, commercial. What are you doing? What do you need? What are you looking for? What are you willing to pay? What kind of coverage? How much coverage? And what's the dollar value of that coverage? So you have input. We have all this input to the insurance problem, the insurance mystery. All right? So it's all bullshit. Once again, all bullshit. You hear a lot of bullshit today, folks. They call it disinformation, misinformation. You know what I call good old bullshit? I'm 62. All right? That's what we used to call it in my day, bullshit. All right? You use all this other fancy, paraphernalia and all this other fancy crap, dress it up any way you want. That's like in my day, calisthenics. Now it's Pilates. Oh, boy, I love that's I tell you, that's a real peach, that one. We're going to do Pilates. I look at the Pilates. I'm what the fuck? I said, it's calisthenics. That's what it was when I was growing up. The rebranding of shit is something else, right? They just take things and they rebrand. Like this thing here, right? It looks like an orange rock. But no, it's a salt rock. All right? I don't know. It is a salt rock. It feels salty and everything. But, the rebranding of shit, right? And the insurance problem is the same thing, right? I mean, it's a two-way street, but you hear all bullshit about, it's one way, man. You got no control. You do have control. All right? Yeah, you're not writing out the policy, but did you write out your mortgage? No. Did you write out your car loan agreement? No. Did you write out your lease agreement? No. but you had input, right? You had input on all those things. So you have input with insurance, folks. Wake up. Hello. Wake up. Okay? Come on. This is important shit here. All right? And everybody should tune into Crash Course for that reason alone. Okay? Because we're jarring the public conscience when it comes to dealing with the insurance company. We're doing the heavy lifting here, all right? Waking folks up. I think we are. I think we damn well are. I know when I was on that damn radio station, the people that called in certainly thought I was. All right? Let me cough up another lung here. Again, the heavy breathing is not the pornification of Crash Course. All right? Don't get all. We're not going that route yet. We're not that desperate. You won't catch me sitting here in my birthday suit talking dirty or anything. That's the other guy down the hall. You can tune in to him later on. I think he comes on at midnight. I don't know. I'm going nuts here. Anyway, I digress. So, so getting back to, the rebranding and stuff, what do I like to say? It's bullshit. Okay, disinformation. It's all bullshit. It's a two-way process. You are involved in it. Folks, and here's another thing, too, okay? Here's another thing to tuck away in the back of your mind also. Insurance contracts, by and large, okay, are dictated by the state. Okay? What do I mean by that? So if you got State Farm, Allstate, Tricky Dick, whoever the hell it is, they're selling insurance in State B and State A. State A has one set of rules. State B has another set of rules. All right? And their policies have to conform to that. They have to conform to that. Now there is a no frills overlap to that, of course, right? What do I mean by that? What I mean is every policy has its basic tenets to it. All right? Go ahead, look at it. Look at your friend's State Farm policy, your aunt's Geico policy. They're all going to state certain things all the time because they have to, because it's as per the state. Okay? So you're not getting anything unique. If you say, I got a State Farm policy, I got a Geico, okay, great. I get that. But guess what? If you read those policies, by and large, they're all saying the same thing. And that's because it's based on the state that your policy is drawn in. Or not drawn in, but that the policy is domiciled to. In other words, that the policy originates out of. The state lays the format for that. All right? They set the narrative on all that stuff. Right? And the insurance companies fill in the spaces. And what do I mean by fill in the spaces? Well, they put specific policy language in there that they feel they need, all right, to support their businesses, all right, their business plan, all right, their approach to managing the business of insurance. All right, so there's little differences and nuances in there across the spectrum of insurance companies. But by and large, the basic policy itself is going to be the same across the board. All right, so that's more bullshit. When people say, oh, it's all different. It's not all different. Look at it. Go ahead. If you got absolutely nothing to do one day, you're bored out of your brain. Okay? You've really gotten to the bottom of the barrel of things to do and say, go pull out an insurance policy. Okay? And check it out, and you'll see what I'm saying. All right? But I get back to the bullshit part of it, right? When I started saying about how people seem to get confused about this. Well, I have nothing to do with it. The insurance companies... it's not true. It's not true. All right? And when you sit down with a broker, you sit down with an insurance agent, all right, or you sit down with a direct sales rep, all right, like a Geico rep or something like that, or Progressive. These people are able to hear, they're able to take from you, all right? They listen to you and they take input from you. Right? Don't they? They should. Right? Come on. You've been listening to me for how long now? You should be involved in this process. It's very important. Apparently, not many people are, though. Okay? Remember, I work at V&J. I'm at the tip of the spear, right? And I help people with this. So many people come in, folks. Right? Everybody just loves to not know what the hell is going on when it comes to their insurance policy. I'm telling you. I've said this jokingly in different segments, all right, on the radio and other places. But it's no joke. But but people tend to be nonchalant about this, right? Until the rubber hits the road, right? All of a sudden you have an accident, you got to make a claim, and now you find out what you didn't pay for. all right, or you find out that you paid for too little or that you're going to owe too much, that's not a good time to figure that out, folks, all right? So, people need to be less cavalier about this and more involved, all right? And I think that's one of the tenets of Crash Course that I'm very proud of, is that hopefully we're raising, I said this jokingly, but we're raising the public conscience about these issues. I know they're mundane, and, I used to always say, they don't come up at picnics, they don't come up at family get-togethers, you're not chucking back a beer with your buddy. Hey, by the way, holy shit, did you see that State Farm policy? No, nobody gives a shit. I get it. But you should at least give a shit enough to be checking it at least once every 6 months. Right? We call that shopping your insurance. All right? You should be looking at your policy. All right? And I say this seriously, and I'm going to get to my story. You see how this all works? This is all coming full circle. Follow the bouncing ball here. We're getting there. All right? Because everything's cool until it's not. Okay? And this is where my story is going to come in. People come in, like I said, they come into my body shop and they got in an accident, or some jackass hit them, and that idiot has no coverage. Folks, I warned you about this. All right, wake up. Hello, wake up. Time to wake up and listen. There is an epidemic of people in Long Island that either have no insurance or very little insurance, and New York State refuses to do anything about that. In fact, the minimum requirement for property damage is $10,000, right? Come on. You drive a shitbox today, get in an accident, and it's $10,000. All right? But this is the insanity of living in New York, folks, okay? Irresponsibility reigns, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry and jerk-off can drive a car because it's a privilege. It's not. I mean, it's a right. It's a privilege, but they think it's a right. So they lower all the thresholds, and now you go down the road, and you're responsible, and you pay the right amount of insurance and have the right amount of coverage. And this dickhead decides, I don't give a shit, right? Because if he's not covering himself all the way, you think he's going to give a shit how he drives? No. So he drives into you. Bam. Okay? That ruins your day, destroys your car, and now you go to sue him and put a claim in, and he gives you the finger as he's walking away because he knows he's got no money, no property, and very little insurance. So, F you. Okay? So it's very, very important, folks, on Long Island, serious matter here, very important that you understand what's going on out there, and you check your insurance and make sure that you have the right amount of coverage that you can afford. Seriously. Believe me. Listen, I'm like you, all right? I'm not some enigma here, man, all right, getting behind this mic. I'm just Joe Blow myself. And I get it. I get it's expensive, and you pay, cash, right, every month, bop, bop, bop. And you're like, what are we doing here, right? It's just into a black hole, and you don't get anything in return, right? You're not getting you're not getting anything. You're not getting a widget. You're not getting a little lollipop or some shit. You're not getting anything over here, right? Nothing. You're just paying. It sucks, right? Until dickhead comes along and takes you out. Okay? Shitbag. That thought it was real fun to drive around with no coverage or as minimum coverage as he wants, and no money and no property, no job. He doesn't give a shit. Plows into you. Bam. God forbid he hurts you. All right? That's a whole other thing. But he just screwed your whole car up, your nice expensive car, right? A bumper and a fender and a headlight are going to cost him $5,000. He's got $10,000. Folks, listen up. A headlight in some of these cars can cost $3,000. That's insane. All right? I don't know about you, man, but I don't have $3,000 that I want to buy headlights for. So a guy like this hits you, takes you out, and I got to do a bumper, headlight, and a fender. All right? I'm into $5,000 or $6,000 already. And this guy's got $10,000 worth of money to offer us? You're dead. You're dead. The rental and all the other shit gets piled in there, and you're dead. This guy's useless. Functionally useless. Now we got to call your insurance company, right? So you got to make sure that you're covered, folks. You really do. All right? I'm real serious about that. All joking aside, you got to make sure that you got the right coverage. So every 6 months, please check your policy, shop your insurance. Let's make sure that that we all know what we're paying for, why we're paying for it, how much we have that we're paying for, and is it enough or too much? Shit, it might be too much. All right? I used to run into it as an insurance professional. It used to drive me nuts. I drive up to the guy's house. He's got a shit box, right? I'm just saying. car's 15 years old, 20 years old, and this guy's still carrying cover. He's still carrying collision, comp. All, I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, dude, you're paying all this money? The car's worth $2,000. All right, so you can pay too much. You could be paying for shit that you don't even need. So it's very, very important, folks. Okay, very important. All right, you like this? Huh? Is this festive or what? Ho, ho, ho! Santa Claus is in the house. All right, I'm not the Grinch. All right, I'm trying to be Santa here, or maybe Santa's helper. I don't look like Santa. I don't have a beard. I get it. All right, I'm not heavy enough. I don't have the beard. So let's say I'm Santa's helper. I'm going to go with that. Santa's helper. That sounds cool. All right, so let's get to the story, right? Then we're going to wrap it up. So here's the story. And no, it's not. I'm not gonna lurch into the Brady Bunch tune. All right, here's the story of a man named Brady. I don't know if anybody even knows that. I'm not gonna go that route. All right, we're not gonna start doing karaoke and sound bites from TV shows. I promise you that. And we're not pornorizing the show either. Remember, no pornification of Crash Course. If you like that kind of stuff, the guy down the hall comes on at 12 o'clock midnight. All right, anyway, so here's the story, all right? I said at the end of the last episode, I had a story to tell. Here's the story. I have a lot of stories, all right? I don't want to bore people all the time, but this is something that's unique and interesting again because I think it illustrates a broader point than what we try and do here at Crash Course, all right, which is help the folks, all right? And again, I know this is mundane shit, trust me. All right, I know this isn't exciting. It's it's not somebody popping pimples or making or this other shit. Yeah, check this out. This crap that's going on now. This lady's got 1.6 billion views or some shit. She does some kind of whispering. Maybe I'll start that. Maybe I'll whisper. All right. Well, she whispers. She whispers like this, and it's like the biggest crock of shit. It's amazing today to me. The crap that's out there and people just latch on and it's phenomenal. So I'm going to start, instead of whispering, we're going to start something like this. We're going to be doing the show like this, and we're going to be called the Low Talker on Crash Course, okay? Because we have the Whisperer, and the Whisperer tells everybody, you just take something like that and then you hit it over here. I'm not kidding, folks. I'm not kidding. I saw this on the news. 1.6 million views. I said billion. I think million views. Because she came up with this. It's called puff, puff, puff. What the fuck? I don't know. There's a lot of brain deads out there, I guess, or people have too much damn time on their hands. I don't know. Technology better slow down, man, because the people are getting dumber and dumber with less things to do with their time. I got to tell you. All right, so maybe we're gonna create our own shit here. We're gonna get millions of views because I'm gonna be the Low Talker. I'm gonna be the Low Talker. This is the Low Talker for Crash Course. What do you think of that, huh? Think that's gonna get millions of views? The Low Talker on Crash Course. That's right. If you talk low like this, and you sound like a real baritone and like a real, tough guy, all right? That's what we're gonna be on Crash Course. Only kidding. I couldn't believe it. It's absolutely quite a phenomenon today. People latching on to real shit, folks, all right? Real crap over, man, okay? Let's wake up, folks. Let's come out of the coma, all right? Let's start giving a shit about stuff that really matters. And some of that's right here on Crash Course. All right, so we're going to tie it all up here with the story. Again, this isn't Mother Goose. This isn't story time. It's not Romper Room. Remember Romper Room? Check it out. Google it. Really popular kids show when I was growing up. Anyway, this guy's really old. So listen, all serious notes. This guy comes in. I don't know this guy from Adam, right? Drives in, real expensive Range Rover, right? Big Range Rover, the big HSE, the big gigantic, overpriced, jalopy thing. New, not brand new. I think it was like a 2022 or something, 2021. Car's hit down the side, right? Needs a bumper. Needs a bumper, a fender, 2 doors, some molding, shit like that, right? Not a big deal. So he drives in, all worked up, comes in, he's, ranting and raving, I don't know what's going on, Range Rover sent me over here, and I said, calm down. I said, what do we got going on here? He's like, well, I bought the car up in White Plains, and they sent me to some guy in White Plains to said he was a Range Rover guy, and they looked at my truck, and they said, oh, holy shit, this thing's hit for the money. And I said, who said that? They said, well, the guy at the shop, the guy at the body shops came over, the guy that owns it, and he says, hey, you maybe want to give that truck to me. He said, I get total losses. I'm like trying to follow this fucking guy, and I'm like, what the? I said, okay. I said, the dealer sent you to their body shop that's certified, and this guy's asking if you want the truck total? Yeah. Okay. So now the insurance adjuster, he decides he's going to call the insurance company and tell them to go there, right? So they're going to go to the White Plains body shop. I don't know who the fuck they are. I never heard of them. I don't give a shit. Sounds like a bunch of winners. So this guy goes down there. Folks, this is why I say, okay, I reiterate this time and time again. You need to know who's fixing your car, right? You need to, hello. Wake up. You need to know who's fixing your car, folks, right? Say it time and again, crash course, right? That's why you need to be going to V&J Auto Body, right? You get to meet me. That's a big deal, right? But all seriousness, we say this over and over again. You need to know who's fixing your car, all right? And are they qualified? Are they honest? Do they have integrity? All right. Are they looking out for you? Are they looking out for your interests or the insurance interests? Or in this case, wait till you listen to this. I don't know whose interest they were looking at here. Seemed like a lot of shit was going on here. So anyway, this poor bastard, he's up there in White Plains. The insurance adjuster goes out, writes all kinds of crazy shit, writes taillights that aren't even involved in the accident. He's telling them that there's structural damage to the car. There's suspension damage that's extensive. All this other shit, writing shit that's not even involved in it. He's writing damage. He's writing damage on the other side of the car that has no damage. Now I'm looking at the guy's estimate, right? I got the guy's estimate in front of me, and I'm reading. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm looking at the car. I'm saying, there's no structural damage. I open the door. I look inside, right? I make sure I check the hinge pillar, the center pillar, the rocker, right? The jambs, the structural integrity of the vehicle. I'm looking at the suspension. There's not anything wrong. The headlight, they write, if the headlight can actually be repaired. I'm like, holy shit, the fuck is going on? So the guy's visibly upset. I'm like, all right, well, what's the problem? He goes, well, the insurance company called me up and they said my car's a total. I'm like, total? I said, there's $20,000 worth of damage here, maybe. Tops. He's like, I don't know. They told me there's structural damage. Folks, I examined this car in my parking lot. All right? I didn't have a tram gauge, no fancy measurement system. I just went out there and I eyeballed everything. I could tell right off the back there was zero structural damage to this car. Zero. And as far as I could reasonably tell, no problem with the suspension. I asked the man, so you've been driving this? Yeah, I've been driving it for a couple 100 miles now. A couple 100 miles? But this guy's telling you got extensive suspension damage? And what the fuck is... I said, what's going on? He goes, I don't know. He goes, that's why when I stopped in at Huntington, Range Rover, and they told me to come down and see you. I'm like, okay. Now, I've been in the business 30 years, right? I was 26 years as an adjuster, almost 10 years as a collision guy. This bullshit, these people should have been given an award, okay? I'm looking at this going, holy shit. This guy, they were rolling this guy so bad, all right? You talk about getting rolled, this guy was getting rolled, man, right down the proverbial hill. So I get a hold of his paperwork. We get everything together. We get him inside. I get him with one of the girls. We get him all situated, all signed in. I said, listen, sir, let me tell you right now. I'm a licensed adjuster, right? Worked for USAA, worked for all the big guys. I said, I can tell you standing here right now, I could raise my hand and be on the stand and testify to a judge, to a jury, and safely say to you, there was not one iota of structural damage to this car and not one iota of any problem with the suspension, okay? So I don't know what the fuck was going on up there. The guy wrote the balls off this thing, and then they don't even write out, he misses the $500 moldings on the door, which were wiped out. And he missed damage on the quarter. So all kinds of crazy shit going on here. Insurance companies trying to roll this guy. They're trying to total the car. They're trying to total it, folks, because you know why? They get big salvage. All right? Turns out the ACV on this car was almost $65,000. All right? Now, I'm no math wizard, but I'm pretty sure 75% of that is way off $20,000. All right? But they were trying to roll this guy, and I think that the body shop was in cahoots with the dealer. Follow me here. All right? I think the body shop was in cahoots with the dealer. They clearly do work for the dealer. Listen, we do too. V&J, we work for We work for Huntington, Range Rover, Glen Cove, all right? I think we just picked up Southampton, all right? When I say we work for them, we work with them, all right? We work in conjunction with them because we are a manufacturer-certified body shop. So they send this guy to that shop. That guy doesn't know this guy from Adam. And right off the bat, before he's even looking at the damage, he's telling this guy, "Hey, you want the car total? I can get a total for you." I'm like, "Holy shit!" I said, "Look, I'm not the insurance police. I'm not the auto crime here." I said, "But I've been in this business a long time, and I got to tell you, all right, there was definitely some collusion going on here with your deal in the shop. I don't know where this adjuster came in. So I'm going to tell you right now, based on what I know." He probably walked out of there with some tips, and I don't mean, like on how to improve himself or how to get a better job, all right? I don't mean that kind of a tip. I mean the kind of a tip where he could go, take himself to lunch the next day, all right? So I don't have any proof of that, obviously. I wasn't intimately involved in that, thank God. What a fucking disaster that was, all right? But here's a guy, okay, Joe Blow, gets in an accident, right? A moderately bad accident. Right, unfortunately, the guy that hit him's a shitbag, takes off. He can't get that guy involved, blah, 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 whatever it is. All right, and then his insurance company wants to roll him so they could total the car. Folks, a Range Rover probably pulled down about $20,000, $25,000 in salvage on the high end. Right? So they total the car. Now, follow me. Insurance company totals the car. The adjuster goes along with the plan, right? I'm not saying that. I think it was Progressive. I'm not saying Progressive said, "We're going to total the car on this guy." No, the adjuster started that. So the adjuster must have been in cahoots with the body shop, wink, wink, all right, who does work for who? The dealer. Total the car. The insurance company wins, right, because they collect almost $25,000 in salvage. Guess who else is winning, folks? The dealer. Why? Because now you're going to come crawling back to me. I got to get you in another car. Oh, your car got totaled? What a damn shame. Hey, we happen to have another one over here. It's $40,000 more than the one you paid for. Whoops. Right? Whoops. Left that out of the old equation. I think that's what was going on here. All right? So this guy was in deep shit up to his eyeballs. Okay? And he had no clue on how to control this situation. None. All right? They were running the ACV already. They already told this guy to start packing his shit with the car. And, I got involved. Yours truly got involved. V&J Auto Body got involved, okay? That's right. A professional shop, a shop that looks out for you, not them. And by them, I mean anybody. Anybody that doesn't have your interest in mind. V&J got involved. Don't know this guy from Adam. He just came crawling in here. He was sent down by one of the dealers that we work with. And I ended up being able to help this guy. I got a Progressive adjuster back in my shop. We corrected the damage appraisal. We took off all the bullshit that had nothing to do with the accident. We had the entire estimate renegotiated by me. We got the agreed price we needed. That was the right price to return his vehicle to a pre-loss condition. And we, of course, the most important thing is we reversed the direction that the claim was going in, which was the total loss. Okay? That's my story, but I think it's a hell of a story. All right, because it illustrates how important it is that you make sure that you understand what the hell is going on, folks. You're going to get rolled. Plain and simple. All right? And before I go, I'm just going to leave you with this little tidbit. So this gentleman here was getting rolled by what? Probably by his dealer and the body shop and then eventually the insurance adjusters. So nobody was looking out for this guy. Okay? Everybody involved in this triad was fucking this guy. I'm just saying. Okay? Everybody. I told this guy to make some phone calls and make that adjuster's life a living hell because clearly that guy was I'll just say was unethical at best. At worst, there might have been some other shit going on, okay? But at any rate, everybody was against this guy. Everybody was rolling this guy, okay? So... And that's why I say all the time about how important it is about understanding what the hell is going on. Right? You can't go into this blind. And if you've never been involved in an accident, God bless, but you will be eventually. And it can be a very intimidating process. And if you have no idea what you're doing, all right, and you're going in very cavalier and you're, oh, yeah, well, whatever, blah, 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 you could be this guy. That's my point of this story. You could be this guy. that I help with the Range Rover. You could get rolled. All right? Now, this gentleman does very well. He's got his own business and everything, but he said to me, quite frankly, he said, Pete, I really appreciate what you did for me because, if they were going to total my car, the new cars are going for $100,000. I don't have that kind of money. I really don't. I paid $60,000 for this. I don't have $100,000. I don't blame the guy. Now he's got a couple businesses. He told me straight up, I make very good money. I do well, but do I have $100,000 to buy a fucking car? Right? I don't. He don't. He does, but he doesn't want to. Right? Because if he does, he said it's going to stretch him out. Right? So I get that. He's got other financial obligations. So, this guy was really in a pickle, right? He was really between a rock and a hard place, right? They were rolling this guy up tight in a Tijuana. So, I mean, I'm just saying. Thankfully, he came to us, right? He came to me. And I took care of this. And that's because I have the professional experience, the expertise, right, on the insurance side and the body shop side. So I was able to bring all that to bear to make this problem, all right, to present the solution and turn this whole thing around from. All right, folks, this guy would have been in deep shit. All right, he was in deep shit up to his eyeballs when he came to me. By the time I got done, he was out of the woods, okay, and a very happy and a very confident, calm, collected person again, right? Because he was comfortable with me, with V&J. He knew that he was in good hands. No pun intended. I don't mean the good hands, the guys that whoops, they drop you. We were able to rectify this and turn this all around. Okay, so that's why I think this is a cool story. Okay, so I think this story brings so many things together that I talk about all the time, right? And when this happened, I said, "Shit, I got to bring this up on the podcast. This is just too much." I mean, this poor guy. I mean, this guy was getting hit, from all sides. I mean, if this was a boxing match, this guy would have been, he would have looked like a rubber band out there. Getting tossed from one end to the other. So, I was very proud of that. I was very happy that we were able to do that and step in and be his advocate and help straighten everything out. But that's the difference between V&J Auto Body. I think what I started to say to wrap this all up is when I said here's another tidbit, guess what, folks? You go to an insurance-sponsored shop. I'm just going to leave you with this. I know if you listen to me, you're going to say, I've heard this guy talk about this. But it bears saying all the time. Stop taking your car to an insurance-sponsored shop. You get on the phone, and they're going to tell you, we have a body shop. Who gives a shit? You're not interested. Okay? Your only answer to that should be no, not interested. That's it. If they keep going, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. I'm going to V&J Auto Body. I listen to Pete on Crash Course. I know what my rights and expectations are. Not interested in your shop. I want a body shop that's going to work for me, that's going to represent me. And that's V&J Auto Body. Okay, V&J Auto Body, we have the most highly trained technicians, most highly certified shop, I'm going to say in Suffolk County, right? Maybe not Nassau, but definitely in Suffolk County. We have certifications in nearly 98% of all major manufacturers. Okay, it means we can fix almost anything that's on the road. Most recently, we were Rivian certified. We've been Tesla certified. We were the first Tesla facility in Suffolk County, folks. Been fixing these cars since 2013. Okay. And we just picked up Range Rover and Jaguar. All right. And we also have the elite status, elite repair status for Mercedes. That means we can handle the heavy duty, large capacity Sprinter vans. All right. We're also certified to handle the new Rivian vans. I'm sure you've seen them, right? Amazon's got a shitload of them. All right. We must have fixed half a dozen already. All right. So we have the capacity, the professionalism, the most highly trained technicians, the most highly certified facility in Suffolk County, the most efficient business processes, the most professional staff in the body shop industry. That's both clerical and claim, right? Our two girls, Donna and Jackie, I would put them up against any major insurance company claim rep. All right? These women are phenomenal. They are tremendously schooled in all aspects of insurance law, handling claims, and the body shop side. All right? And, you can't ask for more. And it's a holistic approach at V&J. All right? That means we can pick you up, drop you off, get your rental car, take the rental car to you, all right? Drop your car off, all right? So it's a holistic approach. All right, folks, I think we're going to end it there. All right, ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. All right, everybody hang in there. Santa is on his way. All right, I hear the bells. All right, and all right, I hope everybody got something out of this. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next episode.